Good morning, awakening wonders. I should probably stop using that phrase. It's from Russell Brand. Nevertheless, today is day 5 of my video journal, and I wanted to share or put it in the video the cognition that I received or downloaded today through the meditation, which is quite curious. It will be addressed mostly to the feminine energy and female people. Today is March 14th of 2025, and yesterday was um, almost full moon. Technically, today is the full moon. Technically, it was last night. Google says the full moon is today, which is technically true. My moon calendar, there's a special cool moon phase app that actually shows all the moon stages in a real time. You can track it, which has been really convenient. I've been using that app for sacred secretion processes, and this is something I learned about a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, but I haven't been so diligent about it because something felt a little bit off. Anyways, the story goes, yesterday I'm realizing that it's a full moon. I'm driving home from work. The moon is huge, it's beautiful, it's kind of red. And I find out that tomorrow is supposed to be a full moon, which is today. And when I looked it up on Google, it did say it's a blood moon yesterday, and that was lunar eclipse. And as always, all these celestial events are some type of portals for opening consciousness. So that got me curious. As I was driving home from work, I used to have a habit of getting a beer or wine after work just to relax and unwind. However, recently, as I read the book of Alan Carr on quitting drinking, not because I get drunk, but because I realized that alcohol is lowering your vibrational state, and even though I wouldn't get drunk, it would be habitual, constant, like glass of wine today, glass of wine tomorrow, maybe I'll have a day break. Nevertheless, I decided to let it go. That was a habit that I just didn't want to have anymore. And as I'm driving home from work, I thinking going to the store, I got groceries, and I thought like, oh, maybe that would be fun to sit home and work on my website and sip on wine or have a glass of beer or something like that. And I feel like I don't really want it. I just felt that habitual, just go get it type of thing. And I even drove to a store and I sat in the parking lot as I was listening to a video for sacred secretion, because supposedly for male and female it happens differently. For those who doesn't know what sacred secretion is, there is a time of the month where your body actually produces a certain chemical that's called Christ oil. It's oily substance that naturally produces, whether it's through your spleen. There are different theories where actually it comes from, but it naturally secretes from your body, that actually goes through your spinal column. And when you're able to aim it towards your brain, to your pineal and pituitary glands, that releases an enormous amount of hormones and chemicals that basically create an enlightening experience. And I feel like, to me, here and there it's happened naturally, intuitively, because here and there I would find myself having a cognition or experience something that just whoa, and I would be suddenly covered in light, and it was like, where did this come from? And I have not always lived the saint-like lifestyle. So I'm listening to that video, which talks about that it is actually different from male and female. For male, that is sacred best time to practice conjuring up that oil being produced from inside your body during the moon being in your zodiac sign. So you have to track it. That's why I had that moon app. And for female, apparently, which is I've heard before, that is falling rather into menstrual cycles or fertility cycles. This is what what that video was describing. Now, having a little bit of that information was enough for me to kind of feel the synchronicity that I was catching on, because my menstrual cycle is now falling onto like 13th, 14th, 15th of a month, and it's shifting sometimes. And as I feel this coming up, the moon is in eclipse state, which is called blood moon, and it's a full moon, and my cycle is coming in, and I was thinking I should probably refrain from having any alcohol. I'm curious what it will do, and I felt so good. I'm so glad I didn't get any wine. I'm so glad I didn't get any beer. That was a very good decision. I feel more, what's the word, empowered by not even craving, wanting, or having desire or spending any money on alcohol at this point. So happy about myself. And with Sacred Secretion, I still drink coffee, supposedly not supposed to drink coffee. But there's also a new day with Conscious Business Accelerator where we're gonna go through a process that is called somatic breathwork, I'm guessing. So I'm going to see how that is done. It's gonna start at 11 o'clock of Central Time. I probably will have to call into work and say like, hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late. But I'm curious how it will work. So maybe I feel like for me personally, there's a couple synchronicities that come in together, and I'm grateful for myself catching onto it and allowing myself to have space to experience this. Now, if you're aware of any sacred secretion processes, if you read any books, if you know anything about alchemy, please share. I would be glad to read what you know about it and have a conversation. Now, the cognition I had in the morning meditation is that yesterday when I watched the video, the truth was stated that lots of secret societies were male-based. They were patriarchal, and female sacred secret societies are kind of less known. And that sacred secretion process was more of a patriarchal thing, mostly that addressed to male, and also all the guys wrote books about it. Now for female, this is a whole different sacred story, and not as many female wrote about it, because what came through to me that female are more secretive, not because they're hiding something, but because their nature is quieter and they're more hidden. Throughout time, I feel like our polarities of feminine and masculine got distorted, and since masculine was going up so much in external domination, because by nature masculine is exposing, it's disciplined, it's conquering, it's more pronounced. Even if you look at male and female sexual organs, male organs are external, they expand, they outward, where even female sexual organs, they inward, they kind of hidden. Unless you dig into it, you're not gonna find it really unless you know where to look. Same thing with the brain. Our pituitary gland and pineal gland are feminine and masculine. Pituitary more feminine, pineal gland there's more masculine. They also have pituitary is more like carved in gland, and pineal gland is more outward penis shaped like gland. So all of these things are correlated quite intricately, and it's really curious. So this is why I was thinking maybe there is a reason there is not that many female secret societies, because we don't need to go around and say like, hey, I'm a member of secret society for females, where male seems like do it all the time. They have secret society that people know about, but they want to get in, but you have to like go through initiation. It's more shown. And with females, I feel like it's not even talked about as much. There's probably still initiations. In Hindu traditions, in yogic traditions, there are a lot of guruvis, which is a female guru, who existent. They're there. But less people know about them, which is curious. And I feel that this is because our feminine nature is not yearning for um, codependency of external expression. It's so subtle and it's meant to be there in a plain sight, to be found, not to be uh, expressed outward in a way to be like, hey, look at me. It's like, hey, if you want to know what's inside, you're gonna have to explore inside. And this is, I think, fun thing to think about it, that masculine energy more external, feminine energy more internal. And I'm really happy about this idea. Whoever delivered it to me, thank you very much. Also, looking at the world, when I'm looking outside the world and it's impacted by light, everything we see outside of us is light. Light is masculine energy. Photons are translated into masculinity because it's outside of us. But when we look inside, a lot of times we are in the darkness. You close your eyes, it's in the darkness. When you start imagining things, those thoughts from outside coming in through the light, and imagination is the light, darkness, light is the masculine, darkness is more feminine. That's why going inside, that's more of a feminine energy. That's why I feel like possibly gurus and ascended masters, they are capable of aligning masculine and feminine energy in such a perfect coherence that when they create this resonance and it's radiating, that's how they're magnetizing. And when your brain and your heart are in coherence, this is what creates the bliss in life. When we are, before we even born, when we conceived, and spermatozoid, it has a head and it has a tail. Your brain is the head, the rest of your spinal column is the tail. And when you have the heart is more of a feminine organ, to my understanding. And when the brain is coherent with the heart, this is when we have and experience harmony. Now there's a third brain that we have. Heart is the second brain. Third brain is your stomach. This is the source of creativity. This is where chi comes from. And being able to align at least these three centers within self, harmonizing external and internal environments, masculine external and internal feminine, brings harmony into the world and balance. And this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is what came through today. I like the idea that feminine is more intricate, hidden, and meant to be discovered, and masculine is more external and obvious and is conquering energy that without which feminine would never be found. Let me know what you think about it. This is just what I think. If you're watching this and if you want to have a discussion about it, please, please, please comment below. I'm curious what you think. And I'll see you tomorrow on day 6. Bye.